Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 6th grade concept of interpreting numeric data. This is standard 6.13a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 14 of the 2017 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we have two different box plots, one for the spring musical, one for the fall musical, that summarize the attendance, and we're going to have to find which statement best represents these data. So first thing to know about these box plots, they're called boxes because the boxes let us know how this data is broken up into 4 different parts. So the very first dot, which is going to be on the end of the box, is going to be quarter 1. So let me go ahead and just label that for both of these here, which means that 25% or 1/4 of the data for the spring and the fall between the lowest end and this quarter 1. And then the middle dot, which is actually in the middle of the box, is quarter 2. It's also the median. So quarter 2, let's just put this here, quarter 2 is the median. It's the halfway point. So half the data is above, half the data is below. And it doesn't have to be an equal space apart from the quarters. Notice how far apart the median is in the spring. Look how far apart this is and how close it is here, which means there's a lot of data sitting right there. And then this third dot on the box is going to be your quarter 3. And that kind of ends this box. And so this box is going to, it takes 2 quarters, right? You've got one here, and you got one here, and then you've got 2 quarters outside. So you got half inside the box, half outside the box. And these different quartiles here, quartile 1, 2, and 3, are represented by these dots on these boxes here. All right, so now that we know how to read these box plots a little bit, and let me just put quartile 2 is the median, and I'll just say Q equals quartile. So you might say quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3. They're kind of like benchmarks or stopping points. So the range in attendance for the fall musical is 85. So range is simply the lowest number and the greatest number and subtracting the 2. So let's look at our fall musical. And let's just assume this is halfway in between 220 and 230. So that's going to be 225. And we've got 140. So let's see, 140. And so it looks like we've got 85. So the range here is 85. Well, that's kind of what we were looking for, right? So maybe that's it. Could be that easy as getting it on the first try. Let's see what G, H, and J have to say for us. The interquartile range. Okay, this is called the IQR. That means the difference between Q3, quartile 3, and quartile 1. So you're just looking at these 2 quartiles and subtracting the 2. So that's what we would do for the spring. So we're going to say it's 195. And that's 135. So the interquartile range, the IQR for the spring, is 60, not 45. Guess where that 45 comes up? That 45 is actually the IQR of the fall. If you had said the fall, you'd be correct. H, for half the evenings at the fall musical, the attendance was less than 160. So half the evenings at the fall. Nope, look at this 160 right here. That 160 shows up in spring. And yes, you could say half was there for the spring. But for the fall, this median right here is 165. So right idea, wrong musical. And then for J, half the evenings at spring, the attendance was between 155 and 200. Nope, 155 and 200 is fall. For spring, it's 135 and 195. So the answer is F.